everybody, and welcome to Toffee Bluecast. We are going to go straight in and get the Toffee ladies on the show. They've been itching to come on. Eliana, get here. Eiley, get here. Let's do this. I mean, she's about to grow out of this now, so it's probably going to be the last one that she gets in the little Everton baby grow. But Eliana, come on, at the front. Here we go. Everton. Look at that. You little cutie. Yeah, Everton. She actually does watch the games with me as well. She likes the colours on the games, doesn't she? She does like them. And, Everton won Nottingham Forest.
Doucoure.
Yes, and Doucoure as well. Your player, you had to get involved, didn't you?
I was trying to find out Doucoure.
Yeah, well, you have got Doucoure top as well, yeah. So we've done it. And to all these fans that are like, you know what? Nice stadium in the Championship. Nice stadium in the Championship. Paul, is that us mathematically safe, would you say, after that win against Nottingham Forest?
I think it probably is, really. Yeah. I mean, we were all right before, I think, but pretty much as it goes, I think we're okay.
Yeah, well, Paul was saying we were safe before we win. So to me, if we go and win after Paul already says that we're safe, then we're sorted. We don't know the meaning of losing, so come on.
Strong,
get down to Goodison Park, on Eliana. Woo! Everton! You never shine so brightly. Everton! Now, I'm really, really happy, and that is the Toffee ladies. I mean, a headband's going to come off, isn't it, Eliana? Look at that. Smile. A smile. A smile. A smile. The Toffee ladies are on the show. A smile. Ready, go. Everton. We don't normally put headbands on, but you got to get it on. You make it look a bit more girly. Everton. Let's take the headband off and see what your hair looks like. Woo! Everton. So people, get involved. Get on the show. That is the Toffee ladies. We did it. We won. We beat Nottingham Forest. There we go. See you later, Eliana. We're going to crack on with the show. Get in the comments. Come on, Everton. We have beat Nottingham Forest 1-0. Me and Paul will try and break the game down. And we want you to break it down with us in the comments. It's a massive, massive game. I feel we're safe after that. I don't know if I've just asked you if it's mathematically. Let me know in the comments. But if Paul's telling me we're safe before we get 3 points and we get 3 points, surely we're safe? Surely. Got to be. And Paul is cracking on with the banner. People in the comments, let's see who's in the house.
I am, sorry.
We've got Emma in the house. There, 3 points, baby. Paul has said, mate, she's growing so fast. I know. Don't get me started. She's hooked on me, though, I tell you. She's so goddamn cute. We are absolutely safe. Have been for 3 weeks, as Paul was saying. Paul doesn't believe Ipswich can do what they need to do to make us not safe. Ipswich have to win every game, and we have to lose every game. So, yeah, it's looking good. You know what I mean? Best stadium in the Championship. They said you're going to get relegated. What else have we got in the comments? Mark Doyle said a typical David Moyes Everton team performance today. Kept going. Well, we're going to break it down, and we will look at stuff properly, because one thing I will say is I think you've got to look at what we're going to be next season. Look for the future. So, as Neville Southall would say, to be happy with staying up just isn't good enough. So I think we've got to look further into just being safe. But I am happy we are safe. I think our bar and our standards need to be a lot higher than being safe. Their fans are a disgrace. This win is even sweeter. I know Emma had a bit of crap off their fans before and says, yeah, Dwight McNeil, man of the match. We're going to delve into it, of course we are, and look at the goal. Right, let's do this, Dan. There's people coming on. It says there's 154 that have clicked on. If you're on X, Toffee Bluecast pays, so it goes live to X, so you don't have to come off X, and you can just literally message us from X, and we can put it on the screen and talk to you. So we do that, where you can interact with us from X. If you can, come over and be nice and give us a like on the YouTube channel. We're trying to get to 6,000. We are currently on 5,900 we're 25 subscribers off 6,000 basically. So 25. If 25 people can subscribe, we'll be on 6,000 by the end of this show. That would be cracking. That was a massive target that we didn't think we'd never get to. So please hit the subscribe. Get us to 6,000 by the end of this show. We're happy. We are happy. So Paul, you want to start and then I'll have a little go on saying how we felt during this game?
Yeah. Well, my afternoon start has been mainly, some shocking acid reflux. So if for any reason you were in Chester Costco earlier on today, seeing a very pale man leaning on a trolley, that was me. And I had it when I came back, and the only thing that seems to have eased it is a Doucoure winner 4 minutes into injury time, which I didn't think would happen. So it's very welcome. I thought it could have gone either way, but that second half I just felt we were more deserving, and I think we created more opportunities, and we looked a little bit fresher. And we mentioned in the review tonight, looking at their results, it looked could be one that they would look for, maybe because they're a bit of a big game like in there against some of the sides around them. So to play us when they sort of look at our position, lowly Everton, we've got them at home, that's an easy 3 points. Well, they weren't up for it, and we were, and we nicked it. And that's the second half. I think we probably deserved it.
Yeah, some people in the comments saying if we have got any little delays on Paul's thingy, sometimes it just happens with his internet. Sometimes it's on it and it's bang on, and sometimes he'll get a little delay that just puts him on the spot even more. But just work with us because we are a good channel, and we'll work through it. I'm with you. You know what's mad? And we'll go through the game, but I have to say this: I was watching the game, and I'm literally thinking to myself, I'm thinking, would we massively miss Doucoure in that 10 position? Because I've watched that ball from I think it was Tarkowski, straight through to Njai's foot, and Njai goes one-on-one, cracking ball. And Njai's just ran straight through, takes it down like a god, Iliman Njai does. And he knocks it into the keeper. And the long ball from our defender, it's over the top, but we've put this long ball through like you're putting a ball through to Njai in the number 10 position. So when Njai's gone in that position behind the striker and not on the left wing and looked really good, I thought, Njai should be playing that position. So in my head, I'm straight away watching this game thinking, Njai should be in the 10 here. Would we miss much from moving Doucoure out of the 10 and putting Njai in there? That's what I'm thinking to myself. Anyway, Njai comes off. I don't know whether he gets injured. Let me know in the comments. Njai comes off. Alcaraz comes in the number 10 position, which I'm still happy about because I like Alcaraz. And I'm thinking to myself, he hasn't played that well this game. He's hit a shot into Williams. He's had a few chances before this goal. And I'm thinking, Doucoure hasn't played that well. Of course, as soon as I think that, he goes and bangs one in the back of the net. It always happens, doesn't it? And he scores straight after, Paul. So, of course it happens. I think Paul's got a freeze. So basically, I was just starting to think that Doucoure wasn't having a good game. And then he goes and smashes one in. Of course he does. Of course he goes and smashes one in. Paul, I take it you heard that, but you had a couple of freezes.
I am kind of here.
He's having the freeze, man.
Apologies.
He's having the actual freeze mare. So let us know in the comments. Was you with me? Was you thinking Doucoure wasn't having a good game and then he pops up and scores where you can't even really moan about him? Or do you think that Doucoure was actually having a good game? get the comments on. Keep your comments coming in. Jimmy Garner's corners but yes, I mean, we will touch on this. It's mad because I was really frustrated because set pieces again. I had a big moan last week about corners and set pieces, and we will take a delve into set pieces, but they're doing my head in. They really are. I put something on Twitter, Emma, about the set plays that they're just ridiculous. This long ball all the time, long ball to Tarkowski, try and knock it down, long high ball, so predictable, so crap. The ball's nowhere near goal. Tarkowski's got to head it down, crap. Set pieces are absolutely diabolical, whether it's free kicks or free kicks away from goal. Corners ain't beating the first men. And this is what I say. I'm really happy we got the result. Don't come on here and think I'm not happy, because I am. But going into next season, if we're getting these set pieces and these corners, we're going to be fuming and we're not going to be happy. So I do think we need to put a stomp on this right now, because it's really not good enough. Paul, how are we getting on? It's taking us on a route round, but yeah, let us know what you think on the set pieces. There was really doing my head, and it's just a long, high ball, and get the comments in. I saw Dan's rant about set pieces on X Laugh Out Loud. He wasn't happy. I'm not. I really ain't. I'm not happy about it at all. Every time it's Harrison as well. Just a long ball, really high, predictable to Tarkowski. And the thing is, Nottingham Forest let Tarkowski get the header because they know the ball's nowhere near goal. It's nowhere near. It's miles over here, miles across, nowhere near goal. Keeper's not under pressure. Defenders ain't under pressure. And it's just shocking, honestly. But I am really happy with the win. So don't come on and think I'm moaning, because it's not the case. How are we getting on, Paul? We don't mess about. Every set piece is trying to go to the back post. It's not even going to the back post. It's going way past the back post. It's just doing my head in. It really is. He's on the move. Here we go. You're on mute. I can't mute your guests because they chose to mute themselves. So we'll get him in. We'll get him in the house, people. Let us know what you think in the comments. Loads of comments coming in. Get your comments in. I will keep chucking them on the screen. If you haven't hit that like and subscribe, please do so. Everton basically now safe. We should be going into the new stadium in the Premier League. In the comments, I'm trying to get them all on. Pretty normal Doucoure game. Disappointing for 90 minutes. And he scores a goal out of nowhere. That's exactly what I was saying. And you can't moan about him. And I want to ask you in the comments, and I'm going to ask Paul when he comes back on if we can get his signal right. But do you know when Doucoure scored, did he do that pen to paper? Did he do like a gesture saying pen to paper, sign me? Or am I absolutely imagining things?
No, he did. He did that.
Yeah?
He definitely did that. Fair play to him, you know.
Does he watch our channel? Does he watch
He knows more about it than we do. So maybe he does.
Because we was literally, I know,
But
obviously a little bit of a joke.
But yeah,
probably don't.
I mean, the thing about him. Yeah, the thing about him is that I've criticised his ability on the ball, and I stand by that. I honestly do. But he seems to be involved so many more times than we'd expect him to be. And again, it's a 1 or 2 touch finish. You know what I mean? He hasn't really got a lot of time to think about it. But fair play to him. He keeps popping up. He keeps scoring the odd goal, and he can't do much more really if he's still wanting a new contract. So maybe it's not.
Emma says, "Oh, sorry, he's rubbing it in, Dan." And I missed that bit. It looked like he did the thing to his back at Doucoure, and I'm pretty sure he did the pen to paper. And we were saying on the pre-match show, we were saying, because people was acting like Doucoure is going to be gone, and I said, don't be fooled. You can tell he likes Everton because you could tell in the derby. Doucoure loves Everton. He does. Since Lampard's gone, Doucoure loves it at Everton. He does. He's getting a lot of game time. He's happy. He's playing in the Premier League, one of the best leagues going. Doucoure's not unhappy. I'm telling you that. And if he gets the contract that he wants, he'll sign it. He will sign it. And I do think that Everton ain't giving him the contract that he wants. Everton are playing hardball, saying probably lower wage or something like that. And Doucoure's playing hardball, probably saying, you offer me this and I'll sign. So that must have been something to do with that, because Doucoure definitely did that and then goes like that. I'm pretty sure he did that. And we was talking about that last night. So it's funny. It's like he's watching the show after the Doucoure, you naughty man. But yeah, he's a bit like, you ain't got him on and you can lose, and you have him on and you can watch him play bad in loads of patches, but we end up winning. He helps us get good results, doesn't he? It's weird with Doucoure. But when I watched us today, as much as Doucoure does my head in the 10 position, a lot of the time when we are defending, he is probably deeper than Gueye, and it was James Garner and Doucoure as the back two and Gueye in the middle at the front. So I think this is massively part of tactics that we don't see, that Doucoure is massively programmed to become the two defensive midfielders probably a lot more than we realise. And I think that's why they like Doucoure so much, is the fact that he can play as the two, and it allows Garner to go on a roamer, and it allows James Garner to push up as and when he chooses. So when we've got the ball, does it do your head in that Doucoure is not as clinical as you'd want? Yes, of course it does, even though he scored this cracking goal. But he does a lot when we haven't got the ball, and I think that's one of the massive advantages in Tipple.
Yeah, definitely. I don't know whether you can hear me or not. And if you can't, what I'm saying is amazing. But he just seems to be involved. And most of his stuff's off the ball, but he wins a few flick cons and he seems to be in the right place at the right time. Got the ball back into Harrison as well. He maybe should have done better with the shot, although the ball was behind Harrison. I don't think anyone's ever questioned his commitment and questioned his his personality or nature. I think everyone likes him. We just think that we can maybe do better, but he always keeps proving his point. That's why he's in the side, and he keeps popping up with the odd goal at important times as well today.
Emma says Moyes obviously likes him if he starts him every game. This is a problem we all act like. We all just bypass that. He is picked week in, week out, and to get picked, the manager must like you. You're not going to get picked over Alcaraz unless the manager really does rate you.
Yeah, but I mean, the thing is, Doyley says it there as well. He mentions there's better players than Doucoure. He could do a better job, but Doucoure is getting picked all the time. You know, we haven't seen an Njai in the 10. We haven't seen an Alcaraz very much in a 10. So for Doucoure continues to do well enough to sort of keep everyone relatively happy, but also at the same time, we haven't seen anyone else do that job. A little bit, if you like, a little bit Deitch-esque, that sort of situation. And the fact that Deitch was always saying, we're not good enough, we haven't got the players, blah, blah, blah. And then Moyes came in, someone else in that position doing the job, which we hadn't seen for 2.5 whatever years beforehand. And then it changed, and suddenly we realised, well, actually, these players are good enough. With a couple of additions, we can actually play half decent football. So that could be the same kind of scenario, in the fact that when at some point Doucoure isn't flavour of the month in 10, then whoever comes in might end up doing a far better job. And we think, oh God, we put up with Doucoure for ages. Hey, it might go the other way. And whoever we get in the 10 might be absolute bobbins. But at the moment, Doucoure is doing his best, and we love him for it. We love him for it.
There's plenty of comments coming in on the topic, and obviously we've got to talk about Doucoure because he scored the winning goal and he did the celebration to gesture about contract. So he is part of the topic. We've got loads more to talk about. I'm happy Paul says 50k a week. Yeah, I just think we've probably got to negotiate the wage. I think he had the extension, and the extension will be very. The extension, if we took the extension on Doucoure's contract, it would be set up perfect for Doucoure on a big wage and everything when we was really bad at negotiating contracts. And I think that we're going to say, no, we don't offer big wages like that anymore. And we'll say, we can offer you this. We're going to play around with it because we feel like the ball's in our court because at the end of the day, Doucoure, I said he's a wicked squad player and he's a good first team player. So you'd be stupid not to keep him next season because that type of player is very usable. He can play deep, he can play high, and centre mid is a position where it's really hard to stay fit. You get injured a lot, but for some reason, Doucoure, don't want to curse him. He is often available and free, and he stays fit. So he's a massive squad player. And when we have people on from other channels, they all say they like Doucoure. Like I remember Russ from the Fulham channel saying, no, you've got Doucoure, he's good. There's a lot of people that have said Doucoure is good and they like him. So, yeah, on the Doucoure topic, it's going to be really interesting to see how that unfolds. I'll put that on the cover. It's just magic, isn't it? It looks like he's part of the fans there, doesn't it? In with the fans. Dukes.
Yeah. And that's the thing, I mean, it's a team game, but it's Doucoure's day, and he's making those fans have that journey, that 2.5 hour-ish journey back, being a good one, and everyone in a decent mood.
Get your comments in. We want to hear what you have.
Thank you very much, Doucoure.
Yeah. Paul can't say much here. He's like, yeah, he scored. He won us the game, and I'm the same. To be fair. Evening, Dan and Paul chat up the fucking toffees.
Yeah.
Only one David Moyes. Great win. Safe Moyes down to Everton Stadium tomorrow, so we can go to Bramley Moor Dock now. We're safe. Richo, we love you, mate. Shout out to you. Get your comments in. We want to know how you feel after the game. There is another topic that I'm going to talk about, and I'm sure you'll get involved in the comments. Of course, you will. When this game started, there's a guy that I love as much as you, Paul. He's on par with you, and he's called Radium, and he's the biggest Broja fan ever. And we love him, don't we, Paul?
Yeah.
And I was just like, this is Radium's moment. Yeah. Broja is starting. We've been waiting for this moment for Broja to start, and I'm thinking, a brace? I'm not even thinking get a goal. I'm thinking he's going to get a brace. No disrespect to Nottingham Forest. I'm just thinking Broja's going to be the man. And I was really excited for him, and I was really like, come on, Broja, You've got to prove yourself. Your career, this is make or break for you, Broja. This is your chance. And I'm not going to not say what I think. I wasn't happy with him at all, I really wasn't happy with him at all. And I don't think I've ever... And you could say the service wasn't that good, but I don't think I've ever missed Betto so much in my life. And I do think, come at me if you think different, because I'm fine with that. I think we've got to start appreciating Betto, I think we've got to start taking this man serious because when Betto wasn't on today, I missed him a lot. Because Betto, he'll work his arse off. He doesn't wait for service. He'll bust his balls to do anything that he can to impact the game. If he's not in the game, he'll get in the game. And Betto will force himself into the game. And I think Broja was waiting for stuff. Waiting when I was watching him. He didn't play like a player that really wanted to prove himself. He wasn't even holding the ball up that well. He wasn't making the diagonal runs that Betto makes. He wasn't being that much of a nuisance. And I just expected more from him. And I think Betto's just more hungry. He doesn't mind doing the dirty work. He doesn't mind feeding off the scraps. Broja seemed to have wanted really good service. Betto's like, I don't care what service I get. I'm just so happy I'm playing in the Premier League. And he's like, I love playing football. I just want to play for Everton. I will smash my head into a post if it means I get to get another game. Betto will do anything. He'll run through a brick wall to get a game. And I wanted him to come on. And when he come on, it's no coincidence, by the way. McNeil, he was a big part of the goal, McNeil's ball, yeah? But it's no coincidence that Beto's making a run on that ball through as well to distract him, to free up Doucoure. Because Beto's going right, it goes through to Doucoure because Beto's ran the opposite way. And Beto's just being a nuisance. He just confuses their defenders. And like I say, I do think Betto is good. I like him. I'm starting to really like him. And if he would have played today, I'm convinced he would have scored. I think if you would have given Betto that Broja opportunity, he would have scored. But sometimes, even when Betto scores, some people are just, he's all right, but we need a striker. We still need a different striker. And if you think back to Lukaku, Paul, and I'm not comparing Betto to Lukaku because I'm just saying like comparing different styles. Lukaku, when we used to smash the ball up, you hit a long ball up to him that was nothing, and Lukaku would get something out of that long ball. We'd get a throw in, we'd get up the pitch. He'd probably even score sometimes. He'd do something from scraps because that's the way we do with a big centre forward. Beto's the same. He does stuff with scraps, and I just think he's nowhere near as good as Lukaku, but he's got a lot of traits that's an Everton striker, Betto. And what do you think, Paul? Talk to me, because do we not give Betto enough praises? We should, because he's a nuisance and he's dangerous, and I like him. I missed him today. Betto
He is. I put him personally. I put him in the same bracket as Doucoure. You know, I think as a person, as a character, as an amazing work ethic, with flashes of, you know, scoring a few goals, and doing good for the team. Absolutely, would never knock him and love him to bits in that way. I'd still throw the same kind of argument that Doyle mentioned before, and in mentioning that after Betto and after Doucoure, then there is better out there. We just haven't got it yet. But what the lads are doing at the moment is brilliant, because they do keep popping up. Sometimes it's really frustrating. You know, there's a few times that I sort of think, just an easy 10-yard pass there or there, but they'll both end up being folk heroes like Amakachi was. You know, they'll be remembered fondly in sort of years to come for what they've done for the club. But when you sort of do that game of this one or this one, this player, then skill wise won't be one of their highest categories, I don't think. But I'm not knocking them. I'm not, because they do pop up and they do great for us. So we love them. We do.
I think your Beto's even got more probably ability than Doucoure. I think if you got Betto in full confidence, he's still got a lot to learn. But he's what, 26 or 27. I think he's not far away from being a really good striker. And if you look at Chris Wood, if you said, people would have been laughing if you said Chris Wood would do what he's done this season. He's just a basic big striker, but Chris Wood has done so well. But still, people wouldn't take him as a good. He's done that this season. Still, people would say, "Oh, Chris Wood, he's done well," but he still wouldn't get labelled as a good striker, you know, even though he's done what he's done. And it feels a bit like that with Betto, no matter how good he'll do, because he's got dopeness in his game and because he looks a bit basic at times. It's a bit like a Chris Wood where he just doesn't get the credit that he probably deserves. And I think Betto could have a season like Woods had this season. Betto could score 20 goals. I don't care who comes at me, right? Betto has been run down with confidence from Sean Dyche. So he's come in with David Moyes with not much confidence, and he's still scored. How many goals has Betto scored, Paul, this season? Do you know? Let us know in the comments if you know.
I'm not sure. Is it 7?
So, yeah, what was it? Probably around that, I'd say. At least 6, 7.
7,
So he scored.
I'm going to guess that, but no.
I'm convinced he would have scored today. So he scored 7 or 8 goals in in not many games. Betto, MSS 5, I think it could be 5, but I honestly do think Betto could be good. I really do. I think he could be good. It's going to be interesting to see what we do on the Betto situation, but we definitely missed him on today. Would you say that, Paul?
Yeah, I mean, there was a stark difference between the performances, and defenders don't like playing against Betto.
No,
They don't, and they haven't all season. To be fair, when he comes on, the defenders either get injured or they're run ragged. Just from sheer persistence, he's relentless. He is a battering ram, and he knows it, and they know it, which is why they don't want to go. They don't want to get involved in that. Particularly your more cultured defenders, if you know what I mean. Don't fancy going up against Betto at all, because he's not a footballing skillful striker, if you like. He's all power and pace and determination.
Old school, isn't he? He's old school, yeah.
Succeed.
He's one of them that you need to wear your shin pads against. Betto is his old school. He's one of them. If you go into a fight with Betto, very hard to come out on top with power. Like, it really is. Like, some players you say, "Oh, I'm gonna be on top and make him feel like I'm harder than him." It's hard to be harder than Betto. I'm telling you, he's a bull. Betto is a bull, and it's interesting on what you said. I honestly do think that football players know football players. Football players know other football players. They do the research. They watch the football. And I honestly do believe the opposition, when they watch Betto, they think, bloody hell, he's a bull. He is a bull, and I ain't going to want to go in against him. And they do fear him. I think you're right, Paul. I honestly, when you watch it, I do think they fear him because they know he's doping. He'll run through you. Not doping in a bad way because I love him, but he'll just run through you. He'll do anything money to play well.
Well, he's. I just had a look. Then, and he scored 6 in the league this season out of 23 games, and he scored a goal in the cup as well. So actually, sorry, I apologise. No, he's got a few more because he scored in the. He got one in the FA Cup, one in the EFL Cup as well. So, yeah,
so in all competitions, got 8 goals this season, which for a low in confidence player.
Last season he got 3 in 30. So he's improving.
But then, no, last season he was got. If you remember Dyche last season, Dyche was bringing him on 60th minute, Paul. If you actually looked into that, Dyche was bringing him on second half. Dyche never started Betto. I can remember that, me fuming and saying, I feel sorry for Betto because he's come to Everton and he's never got a start. He's hardly ever got a start. And Dyche only ever started him probably once or twice. So wouldn't even take that into consideration what that one was. Betto's been backed by David
DCL,
Moore, he smashed it.
For example, DCL scored 3 goals this season in 22 games. So exactly. It gives you... There's a lot of injuries going around, I would say. But he's done as well as anyone in scoring goals. So you can't argue with it, really.
Yeah, I just think he could score a lot more.
I'd just pick out... Doucoure scored 1 in the cup this season. Scored 2 in the league. Only scored 2 in the league. It feels like he scored loads.
Yeah, that goal he scored in Bournemouth counts with 20. That's why.
Yeah, well, yeah, it carries on. It is worth a lot.
But and you still think about loads of other goals that he scored. But I just think, honestly, if Betto, he's just getting used to the Premier League. Moyes says he's learning. I know some people say he's learning at that age. Well, Premier League's not easy, and we've seen loads of players peak at an older age. I think Betto's doing well. I like him. It's going to be interesting to see what we're going to do with him because I know it looked like we massively wanted to sell him and Calvert-Lewin got injured and we didn't. It's mad that we've given Calvert-Lewin so many games when you know he's going to leave. It's just mad. Like, I would have got Betto instead. But yeah, that's enough talk on Betto, but I love him and I like him.
I was just going to say our squad. We are. I mean, as a club, we're very much like that. And a week is a long time in Everton, and there's plenty of times that we've not been happy with someone because we thought, oh, they've had a rubbish game and everything else, and then we're going to sell them, and they can't do this and they can't do that. Week 10 days later, we're saying we can't play without them. It honestly just absolute spins 180 from time to time.
Remember,
Betto more than anyone probably.
Yeah, I miss Betto today loads. I actually like Betto. I don't know that's the difference. A lot of people have got he's got a lot to prove with him, and I understand why, because I know he's not a complete player. But I just like when he does do stuff well. I like what he does. That's the difference. And I know he's got to improve on his holding up play, and he's got to look up and make the right decisions probably a little bit better. But I do think that can come. I really do think that can actually come with what he needs to improve on. I know it isn't hard to improve on. I like these driving runs that he does and puts centre backs on their arse and gets them falling over. And I think the way we play with McNeil coming on with that ball through, all of our players, whether it's our centre backs with a long ball or whether it's our midfielders, Gueye and Garner, they like to put that ball through to Betto. They like to try and find that killer. Even Pickford. Pickford likes to find that ball because they know Betto's on the edge of the striker. They'll put it a little bit slight to the channel and say, Betto, go one-on-one with that defender. And that's the difference. Like, Betto will go one-on-one with him, and you're confident that he can hold it up and probably beat him for strength. And if he doesn't, the defender's probably going to break his leg. So I do like that option in a sense. It was the best thing that I loved about Lukaku. Lukaku, just long ball. If you're in the crap, long ball to Lukaku. He's always going to overpower any defender. He was always going to have to win over him. And you just felt dominant just by a long ball. You felt like you could keep possession but get up the pitch. And I like that. I want to see that again. I do want to see it again. So I need to talk about this, Paul, and this is a serious subject, right?
Yeah. That was also key today, McNeil. Hey, you know what? Fair play. Hands up again. Fair
That's
play
when he
to
come
Harrison.
on money.
He gets a lot of stick, does Harrison, but actually against Williams today, I thought he really, second half, really got in there, got balls into the area. Whether they were dead accurate crosses or anything, but he got there and got to the line quite a few times. So an improvement for Harrison. But when McNeil came on, apart from looking energetic, and I was literally only on for about 8 minutes, something like that. It was a good through ball because I thought, we ballsed it, because he hadn't played it early or whatever, but he played it just behind the defender. So when you come on, you got to do your job, and McNeil did. To be fair,
yeah, it was a really good ball. When McNeil come on, you could see he's running his socks off, wasn't he? He ran like someone that hasn't played in ages and was excited because I've never seen McNeil run so fast. He just absolutely bombed it. Yeah, you make me feel Dwight McNeil. He bombed it about, and it's a cracking ball. Like you, Paul, I thought that he meant to have hit it to Betto and that he'd put it behind Betto. But then you see it. It looks like he meant to have put it to one player, and then you realise, no, he's gone for the longer ball to actually... It's a clever ball because he knows if he overhits that, he's still going to put Doucoure in. So it's a really clever ball because at first I'm only seeing one pass. I'm not thinking Doucoure long, but it's a cracking ball and the speed on it opens it up perfectly for Doucoure. It's a really good ball by McNeil. Jack Harrison, what you said, I don't know whether you've seen it. There was Anderson completely took him out,
Yeah.
And Anderson took Jack Harrison out, and Jack Harrison was fuming, and he ran after him all the way down the pitch and just crunched him. Did you see it? And that's the first time I've ever seen Jack Harrison angry because Anderson took him out dirty and left one on him. And Jack Harrison just, no matter what, just ran back and just wanted to get the crunch on him. And the ref gave a free kick, but didn't give Harrison a card. And that's the first time I've ever seen Harrison angry. And I think he played a little bit better when he was angry. So I thought Harrison did well. But one thing I will say is...
Yeah, determined.
I don't know whether you heard when you had the freeze, set pieces.
Go on.
I'm fuming, Paul. They're still doing it. And I know it's not even. I know it's not even Danny Drinkwater anymore. I know it's freaking Charlie Adams, mate. I'm going to put the freaking it. I tell you something, mate. No, it's not even funny, Paul. Can you not getting fuming? Are you not getting fuming?
I know I'm almost I'm at a stage of acceptance.
No, you
We are,
can't
but
be.
we're not great at taking them.
It's not
We're not
even
great
not
at
great at
taking them.
taking them. We're deliberately taking them like that. It's not even that we're not great on taking them. It's not even that we're not like it's nothing to do with that. It's just that, like, for example, a free kick at the end, right? Harrison's having it. It's really deep, and I understand it's hard when they're deep to cross them when it's deep. Say past your halfway line, that's when I understand sometimes you'll do a lofted ball, but if that's the case, work it wide. Work it wide. Like, we passed the ball quite well today, I thought. So if it is too straight and too flat to cross it, work it wide, then whip a good ball in. Have the confidence to just put it down the channel and curl it in with your left foot towards goal, or curl it in with your right foot towards goal. And then if you're over it, the keeper will miss it. If you're under it, you'll get in front of the keeper and you'll head it in. Our balls are flat, and it was like Harrison's. He's there, Paul. And do you know when you just hit it with your laces, so it just goes high? It's just a complete loft. It's not a. If you're trying to curl the ball with power, you're hitting it with your side foot, and you're hitting it so it goes up and down quick, and it goes in the box with real speed with your side foot. He's completely hitting it with his laces. So all the ball's doing is just going up, and it's going to Tarkowski, which is miles further than back post. And you've seen Tarkowski, Jack Harrison crossed it, and Tarkowski tried to head one down, but no one's there, no one's around him, and it's pathetic. The corners didn't even beat James Garner as well. He's a culprit. The corners didn't even beat the first man. That's a big problem. And the second thing as well, and I mentioned this, and I'm glad someone said it, Paul,
It went really far.
Yeah, really long for the back post, back head across. It's pathetic, this is. And it really stews me. I'm going to get angry with this. But another one. Jake O'Brien, he's on the goalkeeper. It was in the comments earlier on, and it's true. I've seen it again. I said Jake O'Brien was in the goal last time on the video. I said he was in the goal and he come out. And he was in the goal. And the reason he was in the goal, because the player that we're putting on the goalkeeper is Jake O'Brien. We're putting Jake O'Brien to stop the goalkeeper from coming out. So Jake O'Brien's not even running in to get a header in. He's not going in or anything like that, running front post, running back post, running through the middle to bang an header in. Jake O'Brien's just standing in front of the goalkeeper. That's a tactic. That's a tactic that we've got. Did you see it? In the comments, let me know. Did you see Jake O'Brien is just literally standing on the goalkeeper? And a couple of times, not only do I think this is pathetic that we're putting Jake O'Brien, it's put a small player, because the goalkeeper doesn't even like getting over small players. But not only do I think the Jake O'Brien thing on the keeper that is wasted because he should be running in, it's just frustrating, man. Why are we doing that, Paul? Like, why are we doing it? How can you put Jake O'Brien?
It's a waste. It is a waste, but it depends where you're putting that. It depends where you're putting that kick. It depends where you're putting that kick. If you're putting it right on the goalkeeper, then I understand. If you're still doing what we've been doing, aiming for Tarkowski at the far post, then maybe not. I don't know. There's more to it.
Yeah, but what else I was trying to say to you
to see where he goes when that kick comes in, you know.
What else I was trying to say to you when I just lost my words, I forgot what I was going to say, is the referee twice free kick for foul on the goalkeeper. Don't need to foul on the goalkeeper. Twice, just it's an easy way for the ref to give a free kick, standing on the keeper. Twice today we whipped balls in, where me and you have said we've got giants, Betto, Tarkowski, Branthwaite, and O'Brien in the box. We've got four of the biggest giants in the box, and we're giving free kicks away, and we're putting O'Brien. And we won, and I'm happy that we won, people. If you come on now and you think, oh, he's moaning that we won. I'm not moaning that we've won, but if we go next season doing that, I won't be happy, because corners are massive. If you remember us under Moyes when we had Lescott and all that, the corners was really good. Baines, Arteta. I know some people didn't rate Arteta's corners, but it's got to be better. McNeil will be taking them, so it will be better service. But I still feel even if McNeil takes them, Paul, sometimes we'll do that long ball to the back post to Tarkowski. Do it the odd now and again, but to do it all the time.
Well, what about Alcaraz? Is he only a kick taker, sort of right on the edge of the box? Or,
I know, yeah.
He looks as though he could whip a ball in. To be fair,
Sometimes we don't even send. I've started to notice as well. Sometimes we don't even send Branthwaite up on set pieces. We keep Branthwaite back because he's fast.
yeah.
But I still would
Well,
like. I
yeah,
still
I
would
get
like
that.
someone. I still would like someone small though to someone small and fast to stay back. So that's me rant on corners, people. And we will get it off a chest. If there's something that frustrates you, let us know in the comments as well. I knew Emma was fuming, so I was always going to moan about it. We would tag team it.
Yeah.
Another thing.
Doyley's got a good point about Lescott, because Lescott had a great record. I think Lescott scored 10 goals one season that we had him.
Yeah, I remember that one.
So always good to get on the score sheet anyway. And Emma makes a good shout about Baines. Do you know what I mean? Working with them players. Not that none of them, they're professional footballers. Do you know what I mean? So they should be able to curl a ball from where they are to a particular point in the area. It's not a difficult skill to hit a ball 30, 40 yards with pace and curve. It's for a professional footballer, it's not. Sometimes they make it more difficult than it actually is.
Yeah, it's just frustrating. Maybe after seeing Declan's Rice, no, I know I can cross a ball, and I'm not a professional footballer. So corners a little bit frustrated. We've kind of covered that topic. That was in the comments. Another topic is Paul. This is where I said we're gonna have a bit of heart to heart about this. It makes me so emotional.
Yeah.
That Gueye is not 21. Like, it absolutely breaks my heart that Gueye is not 21, because I'm watching Gueye looking like, I'm like, wow, we've got an incredible centre midfielder. That's what I'm like watching Gueye now. I don't know what's happened to him, but he is unreal. Like, if he played for any other football club, if he was playing for Chelsea or he was playing for Man United or he's playing for anyone, Gueye, performing like he's doing now, everyone would say he's probably the best defensive / attacking centre mid in the Premier League by a country mile. And he is insane. Like, Gueye is Nedved, is Kante, is frigging, is Lee Carsley, is everything. And he's even. I don't know whether you've seen today. It was like, I'm falling in love with God. You know, the moment I wake up, every hour, every day, I know it's you I miss. Address are gonna get. No, but there was even diagonal passes, Paul. There was a moment where Gueye, he did this cut pass, a reverse pass. Do you know the reverse passes where there was a safe pass, but he reverse passed it to one of our players on the edge of the box, and it was a pass you don't see. Do you know where a midfielder does like a Scholes pass or a thingy pass? Gueye's pass was a reverse pass that you didn't see. I wish I could get the video. And he just cut it across. You think he's going to the right, and he cuts it more left and puts a player in on goal, Gueye. And I thought, wow, what a ball. And there was even a couple of times where, do you know, the ball's behind him and he back heels it across and we just keep on passing. Do you know, did you see it where he back heeled it and we just literally, he back heeled it and keeps the ball going. And he used to lose the ball a lot under Daesh, but now he is amazing. Like, he is so good. And it breaks your heart to think that we're not going to have him for a long time, Paul, because if you had him at 21, you'd be saying, like Branthwaite, keep him. We have got an incredible centre midfielder.
Yeah, I mean he's more than capable, but there's some times that he has purple patches like he's got at the moment. Emma mentioned most tackles in Europe. It is something like that. But his passing's improved, and like you said, with Deitch, we weren't playing that kind of game. You know, in getting the ball to the front and trying to keep possession up there, we're doing it different now. And what I really like is that in the middle, he's quite pivotal in the middle, in the fact that the ball will go into him. He'll be used about 3 or 4 times before we get the ball out wide. and then get it to players like Alcaraz or say McNeil or Njai and players like that. He is pivotal. He is a Makaleli, a Barry, all those sort of players, and he's clever about it as well. There's a lot of the short passes today, and it's really like it seems insignificant. Second half, got the ball on the left hand side. I think he just got it off. I think he just got it off Alcaraz, to be honest. And he had two Forest players come towards him. There was no panic. There was no chip down the line or anything else. He just turned, dead composed, little, only like a 5-10 yard pass back into Alcaraz, but it just seemed dead simple. There was a lack of composure when we were with Deitch because we were told to get it forward as quick as we could. But we're better than that now. And he's benefiting
right.
from that kind of approach, you know.
But he's not a long ball player. If you're going long ball, that's not Gueye. He's not a long ball player because you're putting the ball into him. It's just doesn't that sort of football doesn't suit him. You hit the nail on the head. Now we started to pass the ball. You've seen Gueye become a lot better player, and it feels like Sean Dyche didn't trust Gueye to pass the ball after he lost the ball a few times and we conceded. And it felt like once against Man United, Gueye lost the ball and we conceded. It's like don't do that again. Instead of trusting the player and saying let's get you passing the ball, but making sure you pass it better. It's just complete disbelief in him passing. But it's not just he smothers players. He's cracking at turning the ball over. Like he'll get the ball off a player. He's small, but he gets stuck in. Even heading the ball. Like he's really good at heading the ball. Like for his height, he wins a lot of those headers in the middle of the park. Yeah. He really does challenge the big players at heading the ball. And like people have said in the comments, I think you've got to give him another contract, but it's just gutting that he's not younger. And I think he'll last. I don't know what's in his breakfast. Obviously, drinks oil for breakfast or something like that because he's an engine. But he's some player.
But he's experienced as well. Do you know what I mean? A younger player without that experience maybe wouldn't have fouled Gibbs White when they were sort of breaking away a little bit into our second half, and he got booked for it, but he didn't have to lunge in or anything else. He's a very smart player, and that's why it's good to have those sort of players in your squad because they pass on that kind of experience and everything else.
Pretty sure he's not had like a yellow. This is his first yellow card in probably the last 6 games, but yet he's got stats of more tackles than anyone. So the fact he's been putting so many tackles and turnovers in, top of the charts compared to anyone, but still not fouling and getting yellow cards shows how good he's been. And I just think he does deserve a massive shout out. Because you watch Gueye, look how good he's playing, and you think, James Garner, why are you not? And I know they're different players, but you think like James Garner, he can ghost, he can go quiet, he can shy away in games, can't he? It still feels like sometimes when you look at James Garner, you still think, oh, he's young, he'll get better. But he isn't young anymore. He should be a full player now. He should be in full force and absolutely bossing the Premier League with his experience. But sometimes he goes shy in games, James Garner does. And I'd love him to. When you watch Gueye play so well every game and smashing all these stats, you think James Garner should be doing that, especially playing with him as well. Like, should learn a lot from him because Gueye's got that experience that you said.
Yeah, well, we've got players who go in fits and starts and everything else. I mean, Jonesy there mentioned about PSG taking him on. It's all about who you've got in your squad because when he went to PSG, he had say a season or two where he was playing and involved and everything else, but it did sort of get to the point where he wasn't because they fancied other players in those kinds of positions. So it's about who you've got at the time, and at the moment, if you're sort of talking about people we've got in particular positions, Gueye should sign a contract if we give it to him. We hope he does. You know, it's not. We can do better than Doucoure, but where we are at the moment and the number of players that we have, you'd only you'd presume they've got people lined up if they're not going to give Doucoure another contract. And I know it sounds like I'm contradicting myself there, but yeah, it's about if there's a guarantee of someone coming in, then obviously people like Doucoure would maybe move on. But there's a lot of stuff that we don't know yet, and I don't mind that. There's no point saying we're going to buy that person, and a club comes in the next 2 months to snatch him out of our hands. So
we're absolutely buzzing with a win, but we are going to have one. I'm going to have one last rant anyway, because you don't let someone shit on your doorstep and just like walk past it and say it's fine. You have a little moan about it, or you find out who's done it and have a go. And the referee, I think we'll finish on talking about the referee because I think we've got to. We'll finish on the referee and then we'll just get happy again after we spoke about him. But get it off your chest, people, because I've covered a few topics tonight. I've tried to chuck topics on that you probably want to talk about after the game. We've tried to go through it all, haven't we, Paul? But what an I'm not going to swear.
Yeah.
I'm not going to swear. Put what word on you want at the end. I think you know. Like, he's just the referee did my head in because he's just letting them take us out. Like, they've done about 3-4 fouls. That Williams is so dirty, the cop eye. He's just crunching it and jai, not winning the ball, crunching and jai. The referee's letting it go, sometimes playing advantage. So basically, the Nottingham Forest, even Anderson as well, they've done a yellow card tackle. They've grabbed the player, tried to break us off on the counter, or just crunched the player. Referee said advantage. Advantage gets played. Ball goes out of play. Referee forgets about it. Doesn't matter that you've crunched an Everton player. And it happened a lot in this game. Like, a lot. Even I don't think it was a penalty with Betto, but I definitely think it was probably a penalty with the Yates elbow to the face to Alcaraz.
Yeah, I mean, when I saw my first thought was penalty. Seeing it again, slow mo's not always. Do you know what I mean?
Yates knows what he's doing.
Like less of a penalty, but the fact that of course he does.
Yates is
but I mean, Forest fans are getting annoyed at us. Forest fans at the game were getting annoyed with us because of the number of free kicks, but they were often the one doing the fouls, to be honest. Yeah. So it was a scrappy game. But Parson's whole body language is, and his face as well is just almost like no. And he's proper deadpan about it as well, and it's like showing contempt. And I don't know whether fans from other clubs feel that as well from him, but we've always felt it. We've absolutely always felt it because of decisions that have been not great, to say the least.
It's just frustrating because I thought Njai looked really good, and the fact that he kept getting fouled all the time, it was frustrating because the referee wasn't giving the fouls, and he had the beating over Williams all the time, but Williams was leaving a lot on him. And it's good sometimes. Nottingham Forest fans are probably happy that it was dirty, but I didn't like it today. I didn't like a lot of it. The referee, and like you say, he's just so dead, that referee is. There was a couple of times where, I don't know if you've seen it, Williams didn't even get touched. Williams did not even get touched, and he's gone down like that. And then Njai's looked at him and said, "I didn't touch you." And Njai doesn't foul much, you know. Do you know, because Njai's so skillful, he can tackle without fouling. He doesn't foul. So when you watch Njai go to get the ball off Williams, he's only gone shoulder to shoulder, and Williams has gone rolling around like he's been, and then got up and he knows he's cheated. Williams does, and he knows he's cheated. And it's the same with that fake Grealish off Wish. I don't know who he is, the new striker, Jack Grealish on FIFA. What's his name? Silver or something like that. What's his name?
I can't remember.
He's rolling around like an idiot and keep taking us out.
You are dead right.
He's kicking chunks.
You are dead right.
Yeah.
Well, Murillo, the left back Murillo as well. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
There was a thing where they both. It was him and was it Harrison? I can't remember. Who jumped up with him for the ball, and the ball bobbled out. I think for a throw in, but Murillo just screamed as though he'd been shot up the ass.
you did.
So it was some of it was embarrassing. Some of it was embarrassing.
It was really
I
weird
just
because
show you.
they
I just show you.
go on.
One or two comments on here. No,
Vorney. I like
just
Vorney, to
off
be
X
fair.
really.
I know Vorney.
Just backing up what we were sort of mentioning about Pawson. Obviously, Everton fans haven't got a great history with him. Amy also mentions that about Gueye and Charlie had him on free kicks, but yeah, Pawson's.
Doesn't say about Garner
As soon
Gay
as you
as
see
well,
his
yeah.
name in the list, it's not great. This was one other thing as well that was posted. Something that Neil Warnock said a while back. I've just found out this morning. Is Craig Pawson in the room? Well, I mean, Craig Pawson's got something with Everton anyway. So, history ain't great with some refs and us, without a doubt.
Just frustrating because
Kevin
all
Point,
like you said, all it was is their players took our players out and was really dirty. But then when we did anything back, they rolled around like freaking Argentina players, like they're rolling around, holding their legs and stuff. So there was dirty. But then when you gave it back, they were rolling. It was obviously a game plan. Fair play if that's the game plan to do that. But one thing I will say, we're wrapping the show up now, people, is that I do think we was miles the better team. I think we was comfortable in defence. I think I actually felt comfortable. I wasn't scared of them. I actually thought they'd be more dangerous with Hudson Odoi and Alanga coming on. I felt comfortable with them all game, and I was surprised with how much possession we had. Paul, we was moving the ball about really nice, just not that final pass on the edge of the box, but we was often on the edge of the box, and I think we're playing really good football. I was really happy with watching us at the minute. I'm thinking Garner Gay's moving it about, James Garner's moving it about. We're playing good football, and our centre backs are just so good that they're sitting on the halfway line and pushing us up. And I'm happy with Everton at the minute. I think we've got the roots to be something good next season, and I'm really happy with this game. I just think we should have been more clinical and shouldn't have left it so late. It's mad that it could have been a game where we could have won it 3-4, 4-0. And I'm not even joking with that. With the chances that we had, if we was more clinical the first half, we could have battered.
Yeah.
We could have battered Nottingham Forest, Paul, and it's mad because Nottingham Forest are no Mickey Mouse team. They have a good team, but we made it look like we're better than them today. So it starts making you think, like, how good are we? It makes you think that, doesn't it? Because we've played Nottingham Forest, who are good against everyone. They're quite consistent. They've done well. They're high up in the league. They want to win, obviously, to push up the table. They wanted to win today massively. They're at home, and we've gone and looked miles better than them. So how good is this Everton team that we've got, Paul? And it's not even fully like we still know we've got to get a left back, a right back, and some wingers. But why is this Everton team so good, and we're not even complete yet? Does it make you positive?
Very, very, because almost like a building from the back. It used to be that we were all kind of happy with Pickford, Tarkowski, and Branthwaite. They were the three. They were the reason that we had a cracking defensive record last season. But now O'Brien's come in, filling in that right back, growing in confidence and experience. He did get twisted around a little bit today, to be fair.
Did see that.
But that's Alanga for you. Yeah. So yeah, and he'll learn from that. But if one doesn't make the tackle and win the ball back, then he's backed up, and I think that's one of the main things, isn't it? We're a team. I mean, we've always sort of been a team. There's very few individual stars. We don't accept that really. We have our heroes, yeah, but within that side, there's never really any one person who's out on their own. Do you know what I mean? We work and fight as a team, and we win or lose as a team as well. And so that's what it'll be going forward. And what Moyes will do is he'll tweak it, and we'll get rid of one or two and we'll bring one or two in. And the idea always every season is that you are better than you were the season before. And we've got a lot of scope to work with there, but the signs are positive. If you threw a successful striker, this is not against anyone. If you throw a successful striker in that side, like we had like Lukaku years back, and I'm only using him as an example, you can see what can happen. Because that side, that sort of team that we had while he was there, it could have gone on to great things, really, with a little bit more nous and a little bit more luck. We could have really pushed on. So it's got the potential. It's got the potential with everything that goes around it. It's got the potential to be a good future. Really.
The reason I think it's got good potential is because if you remember when we had Jagielka and Leicester, we had a good defence under Moyes back in the day. That's why we always finished 6th, 5th, sometimes 4th. And I always think that the roots in football, the main thing in football, the roots, is that if you're going to create a good football team, you start from the back, you get yourself a good goalkeeper and you make sure the 4 defenders are solid. And if the 4 defenders are solid, your defence is your roots. Because if you think about it in football, all the energy, everything goes out from your defence. Everything goes out from the back. So in football, if you're trying to let something go out from the back and the back is messing the function up, Paul, and you can't pass the ball, then it's not going to go out to the midfielders nice. And then the midfielder's going to look crap and then you don't get it to your striker. So if it's not good at the back, straight away, you've got a problem before it even gets to your midfield and it affects your midfielders. Under other managers and under Mashiri, our defence was Holgate, Michael Keane, Ben Godfrey. Not good passers of the ball. And this is the reason we've struggled season after season. It's not rocket science, by the way, people. We've had a really bad defence. And football is all about defence. You look at Nottingham Forest, good defence doing well this season. Bournemouth, good defence doing well this season. Newcastle, good defence doing well this season. Football is still about your defence. And I think if you've got a good defence, you'll have a good season no matter what, because you're always going to defend well. And then you're just relying on your midfielders and your attackers to just help your defenders sometimes and win the game. And I think now we've got the roots. We really have. And we haven't had it for a long time, Paul, because I remember my Irish friend Kevin on X Spaces, I said to him, he was saying, oh, we've got Keane in defence. Oh, my God. But there's no good defenders about. We need a Vidic or we need a rough, aggressive defender. We didn't have no one. We had Michael Keane, Godfrey and Holgate.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden we signed Tarkowski, who was a bit more rough and ready. And he was a good signing on a free. And our defence started to get better. Now we've got Branthwaite, who's fantastic. And we've also got Jake O'Brien, who is a third option centre-back playing right-back. So we've sorted it out finally. The problem with us was that we didn't have a good defence. But on what you said, going into next season, we've got a good defence. And that's massive. That is the roots. Next season, all you need to do is add some good wingers and probably another striker with an attacking midfielder, and we can have a really good season. We really can.
Well, that's it. If you look back, sort of before we all knew who Branthwaite was, before we all knew who O'Brien was, Njai, most people hadn't heard of or vaguely remember him from Sheffield United. You know, Alcaraz, some people might have remembered him from Southampton, but obviously he wasn't someone that we were all familiar with. That's what I would imagine it would be in the future. I don't see us going to other Premiership sides and nicking their best players. I just don't think that's not really been us ever. Really, we've found gems who have either not been appreciated or have got the potential or need a second chance. Do you know what I mean? The number of players in Everton's history who were discarded and then we've brought them in and then suddenly they've become legends of ours has been loads over the years. So, you know, I think we've got people who are in the club who know where to look or who to ask. And I think some of our favourite players over the next 5 years might not even be at the club yet, and we don't even know who they are.
Yeah,
Which
that
is
really
exciting.
excites me.
Exciting,
Yeah,
yeah.
it really. I don't want predictable players. Do you know what I mean? There's players out there. Sometimes people say, "Oh, I want a player that's coming to the end of his career," but there's that player coming to the start of his career. Do you know what I mean? There is a new Gueye out there. I'm saying keep Gueye, give him another contract, but there will be another dynamite Gueye just in the making, ready to be like Gueye with loads of energy, young, and ready to hit the ground running. There's players out there. There is. You've just got to take a chance. Sometimes it won't pay off. Sometimes it will. But we did it with Branthwaite. It's paid off. We've done it with O'Brien. It's paid off. And you can get the best players that way. It is the end of the show, people. We will let you crack on with your Saturdays. Sunday, we might try and cram a player rating in tomorrow if we get time, which will only be a half an hour show if we can be bothered. We'll let you know and chuck one up and do a player rating. It is the end of the show. Everton are safe now. I honestly do believe I thought, Paul, when you were saying we already are safe, I thought we needed one more win. And when you're saying we're already safe, to me, I'm thinking one more win and we're definitely safe. And we've got that win today. We really have. So we're all happy about that, ain't we? Really all like, come on.
Well,
I
I mean,
in the Premier League,
we are 18 points. We're 18 points clear of the bottom three, and there are 21 available. So
we need one more win to be mathematically probably safe.
Unless
they win every game.
Well, hang on. At the same time, because exciting news for anyone who's in top half of the table this week is that the Premier League were awarded an extra Champions League place this week. So it's not top four who get in Champions League, it's top five. And there's all kind of scenarios about if someone wins this cup or that happens. So you can, in some weird, unlikely scenario, have the top 11 teams going into Europe. Now, if you go on that basis, we could be 5 points off Europe.
Yes, I like your thinking. That is right up my tree.
You know,
so we're 5 points off Europe, yeah. So if we win every game now to the end of the season, we're getting Europe.
Well, you never know. Brentford are currently 11th, and we're 5 points off them. We're only 10 points away from 8th.
Mate, someone hijack your brain. Someone hijack your brain. You've been hanging around with me way too much. That is way too positive for Paul to find a way for us to get into Europa League. If you don't ground this show, no one will, mate. The sky's going to be.
You never know. Well, we've got an easy game. We've got an easy game for the next one, haven't we? It's only City at home, so
yeah, we'll have them. Well, to be fair, Crystal Palace gave them a game, didn't they?
They gave them a bit of a scare.
Yeah, they gave them a scare at the start. If we got that lead, hopefully we could do better. I'm just liking Everton this season. Thanks everyone for listening. If you haven't hit that subscribe, get us to 6,000. Don't play hard to get.
Yeah, I'm getting sick of seeing. I'm getting sick of seeing that same number. Let's just get the 6,000.
Get 6,000 ticked off and let us push up to more. Everyone, go and have the best Saturday you can have. I hope you're all having a boss one. If you're not, then I hope things change for you. Have a great one. Sunday, we'll try and pop something up if we can. Up there, Toffees. Have a good one. Everton are great again. Like our form is insane, though, Paul. It really is. Like we just without the fixed game against Liverpool where it was offside, we are actually unbeaten in like 12 of the last 12 Premier League games or something like that. It's mad.
Well, they do say that we don't know the meaning of losing.
We actually don't now. Yeah, they are right now. The song's back. Have a watch one, everyone.